If you're a coach, you know this exact feeling. It's a huge moment in the game. Your athlete makes a mistake. You give them what you think is the perfect piece of feedback and nothing. Or even worse, they completely fall apart. So today, we're going to dig into why that happens and how a totally new way of looking at feedback can change your entire game.
And this is the central puzzle, right? You can have all the technical genius in the world say exactly the right thing at the right time and still watch your athlete's performance just crumble. It's this super frustrating paradox that tells us there's something much deeper going on here than just passing along information.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The answer is all about reframing how we think about communication. We've got to stop seeing feedback as just a bunch of information and start seeing it for what it really is, something way more immediate and way more powerful.
This is the absolute key. Every single piece of feedback you give does way more than just deliver words. The first thing it does, and this is huge, is send a signal that directly changes your athlete's internal state. We're talking their physiology, their emotions, and where their brain decides to put its focus.
Now, what's so cool about this is the pathway it shows us. See, everything kicks off with the athlete's state. If they're in a stable, regulated state, then they can find their focus. And that focus is what lets them access the skills they've trained so hard for. Only then can they actually perform well. Your feedback is the trigger that can either hold that whole chain together or shatter it.
So think of your feedback like it's broadcasting on two channels at the same time. Channel 1 is the what. That's your technical correction, your tactical advice. But channel 2, that's the one the athlete's brain tunes into first. That's the how. It's your tone, your body language, your urgency. And that channel is sending one of two simple signals, threat or safety. And that signal determines whether the information on channel 1 even gets heard.
So why is this how channel so dominant? Well, it all comes down to one thing: speed. The emotional and physiological signals you're sending out as a coach travel so much faster than the actual words you're saying. This lays it out perfectly. Look at this hierarchy. Before an athlete even starts to figure out what you're saying, their nervous system has already felt your presence, clocked your body language, it's already registered your tone of voice and the look on your face. By the time the actual words land, their internal state has already been changed, for better or for worse.
So how does this happen? Well, it's a process called emotional contagion. Your internal state, whether you're feeling calm and in control or you're frustrated and anxious, is literally contagious. You are the source of the signals that are shaping your athlete's inner world.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. The contrast is just wow. On the left, you've got a regulated coach. They create stability, which leads to better focus, better access to skills, and a quicker recovery from mistakes. But on the right, you've got a dysregulated coach. And even if they're saying the exact same words, they're transmitting instability. That leads to tunnel vision, mistakes, and breakdowns. It's true, you are the team's thermostat.
And this is the bottom line, right here. It doesn't matter how brilliant your tactics are. You simply cannot communicate them effectively if you're delivering them from a place of anxiety or frustration. Your own self-regulation is the bedrock of your ability to coach under pressure. Period.
Okay, so we really got into the heart of the problem. But what do we do about it? Let's talk about a new playbook, a practical model for actually coaching effectively when the pressure is on.
Here it is, the golden rule. The solution is to shape the state, then teach the skill. Regulation is literally the gatekeeper to performance. You can't unlock an athlete's skills if their nervous system is in lockdown mode and can't even get to them.
We call this approach regulation-first coaching. It's a simple idea, but it's a massive shift. It means that your number one job with feedback in a pressure moment isn't correction, it's stabilization. Once that athlete is stable again, then your technical cues might actually have a chance to work.
And that brings us to what we call the dual-purpose feedback model. Every cue you give has two jobs, instruction and regulation. But to actually be effective, you have to get the order right. You always prioritize regulation, the how, because that's what decides if the instruction, the what, can even get through.
This table is an incredibly useful roadmap. You literally just match your feedback to where your athlete is at. If they're highly dysregulated, they look frantic, lost, overwhelmed, your only goal is to stabilize them. Use short, familiar words, a super calm tone, or even just strategic silence. As they start to come back to center, you can re-anchor them with a simple focus point, and only when they're well-regulated should you try to offer more detailed refinement.
And of course, timing is absolutely everything. You've got different windows for communication.
During those intense moments between points, your job is to stabilize with something quick and familiar. But in a timeout or between games, you have more space for structured guidance. The key is always precision over density. Sometimes the most powerful coaching tool you have is just saying nothing at all.
So, as we start to pull all this together, you can see it's a huge shift in perspective. It's not about just correcting one little skill in isolation. It's about managing the entire human system in which that skill lives.
So let's just recap the biggest takeaways here. 1. Feedback is a state signal first, information second, always. 2. Because of that, your own self-regulation is your most powerful coaching tool. 3. The big rule is shape the state, then teach the skill. And finally, when the pressure is on, choose precision and familiarity over trying to dump a ton of new information. In the end, it really all comes down to this. Your greatest asset as a coach isn't what you know, it's who you are in that moment. Your calm, regulated presence is the thing that creates the environment for your athletes to be their absolute best. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. The next time you're in one of those high-pressure moments, just ask yourself, is the feedback I'm about to give going to build stability for my athlete, or am I just about to add more noise to the chaos?
If you want to dive a lot deeper into these ideas and really master the mental game, you can find a ton of free downloads and other great resources over at flowmcompa.org. It's a fantastic place to keep learning.